all the mistakes we made. Hey guys, how you doing? It's Dr. Steve, and I am so excited here today to talk to you about hypnosis and pain. And I'm going to be sharing with you the inside scoop and showing you some videos from some of my work. It's going to be a lot of fun, so stay tuned.
Hey, Dr. Tim here, and so glad to be with you here on this beautiful Friday. We're the Ouch Doctors, Dr. Steve and myself, and the reason we got into this is to share mind, body, natural pain-relieving help for people in chronic pain. It's so needed out there in the world today, and that's why we're doing this. We're inspired by this. We learn ourselves every single day, and we want to share that those techniques with you, and I am so excited about Dr. Steve's topic today. So go to our YouTube channel, the Ouch Doctors YouTube channel, and subscribe to that. There's a virtual library of awesome material that's in there. So don't worry about catching us live. Go into the library and watch all of our shows in there. That's the way to go. And the stuff can be complicated. It's new. It's different. It's brand spanking new, as a matter of fact. So if you've got a question right now, go right now. You can just jot it right down there at the bottom, and we'll answer to the best of our ability. And if we don't know the answer, we'll find it out. So back at you, Dr. Steve.
Well, I'm really excited once again. Today, we're also going to make sure that, well, first of all, please do stick around until the very end. We have one big tip for you at the very end and a special gift to offer you through our new The Ouch Doctors website. So we're going to invite you to go on over there and get your own free gift. And we won't talk much about it right now, but it's awesome.
Great. Steve, it's all you, brother.
Well, guys, as most of you know, I am a hypnotist. I've done hypnotherapy for quite some time, and I've used hypnotherapy as a tool in concert with some of the other things that I do, lifestyle, even back in my days as a chiropractor, physical medicine, and mindfulness, and a variety of other tools to help people to break through their pain and other maladies they might experience. But in the context of chronic pain, I've had a remarkable amount of success helping people regardless of the cause of the pain. And what I thought I'd do with you today was to kind of take you inside my office, kind of give you a glimpse of the experience. And one of my patients was kind enough to allow me to share some highlights of a session I did with him. And I'm going to say no more about it right now. Perhaps I'll stop it midway and make a few comments or talk over it a little bit. But we've got about 6 minutes of awesome footage of this gentleman, Matthew Massengale, who, as I said, was kind enough to let you hear and see his experience. So here we go. This is going to be Matt and myself in a therapy session very recently. So what's going on with you right now, health-wise? And
October, I was diagnosed with throat cancer. Beat that in 2011. So that, that was squamous cell carcinoma. 17, I was diagnosed with NET, which is neuroendocrine carcinoma of the liver. I have a spot on my pancreas, in my lung, on my vertebrae. About a year of chemo, and that was pretty rough. I mean, I looked horrible, man. I was just ashen and lost all my hair, and they've done several hundred now.
And like you told me, it's crazy expensive.
Yeah. Well, when this whole thing first started, it's in my right side, where the liver is.
Yeah.
So when I breathe, my abdomen pushes down. It puts pressure on my liver. After I have a meal and my stomach is full, it's full in there. So if I breathe down, that puts pressure on the liver up into my shoulder.
Liver and gallbladder do radiate to the right shoulder.
Really?
Yeah.
I wear a fentanyl patch, and really, I think I could get off the fentanyl patch. I would love to get off the fentanyl patch because every 3 days I have to change it. They put me on a drug called everolimus.
Sounds like a character from Harry Potter.
I had
By the way, I just want to mention here that one of the most important things in doing therapeutic work is getting good rapport with your clients and also getting people to laugh, as Dr. Tim and I like to talk about. Yes, Tim?
I agree. Yeah, go ahead. I wasn't interrupting.
Yeah, no, we love to create levity and humor, and it's an important part of the process of lightening up and working with your healing. And of course, here you're seeing somebody who's obviously dealing with some very, very profound illnesses, cancer of various parts of his body, which just, I think, shows that the work that we're doing is not specific to only one kind of pain or another, because what we're doing is working with the actual experience of pain, not its cause.
Fun with pain.
Got major GI problems. And after I do a treatment like that, for like the first 7 to 10 days, I'm just wiped out. I don't get out of bed. And it's just because you have pain in the area. And what they tell me the pain is from, actually the death of the cancer cells and those cancer cells being sloughed off.
The subconscious mind is ultimately the manager of that process. It's the one that's sort of deciding which signals are going where, and it's all happening obviously below the level of your conscious awareness.
Right.
Biggest area of impact, the biggest area that we can have an impact on, is between perception and interpretation. And that's something that could be essentially hypnotized in. It's just a way of choosing to have you use your brain, and it's a way most of us don't use it. But you do a little bit. I mean, if you've ever hit your thumb with a hammer,
a conscious effort, or is that something that
it can be? Basically, what it is, it's your conscious mind isn't doing it, but your conscious mind can direct the subconscious to do it. That's what it really comes down to. It becomes a matter of driving this new pattern into the subconscious, so that pattern is the dominant pattern versus the pattern we're usually operating based on. So look at 10 different people who all experience pain. For one of them, it's an annoyance, and for the 10th person, it's like, it's killing me. Right? And people like that. Some people, if they get a splinter and they whine and cry about it all day long, and other people, you chop their arm off, they're like, it's okay, I'll handle it.
just a flesh wound?
It's just exactly. and it robs you of, it kind of robs you of free will.
Sure. I think it leads also into anxiety and depression and all that stuff as well.
Which, by the way, then intensify the pain. It's a vicious cycle. One infects the other. So it's definitely worth moving through it. So, okay, so let's do this process. I want you to ask.
Now, guys, up to this point, what you just saw probably constituted about a half hour's worth of conversation, compressed down to 3 minutes. But obviously what I'm doing is learning exactly what his concerns are, and at the same time, gradually weaving in for him an understanding of how pain is manufactured in his body and in his mind. And now what we're doing is what's called an ideomotor response. And so watch this. It's really neat.
Subconscious mind to give you a yes, that is a sway forward again, if it is willing to delete all old pain messages, all chronic pain messages. And when you've totally deleted those messages, respond with a yes. Wow. Awesome. You felt that, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, guys, that is an ideomotor response, very much like what happens when, for example, a gambler watches another gambler for what they call a tell. A tell might be a little twitch of an eyebrow or of the cheek, or it might be a pupillary response, or something very subtle that the other person could observe that the person who's having the reaction doesn't know that they're having. And the same thing applies to swaying. Our subconscious mind can communicate to us through a sway, and we use that as a marker or as a signal that the subconscious mind is actually participating in the healing process. And we just did it with him because he wasn't trying to sway forward. He was just letting whatever happened happen, and he got the signal he needed in order to take us to the next step, which is a hypnotic induction. And I'll show you some clips of what that looks like.
Back down again. Now, I want your unconscious to look for any muscles in tension throughout your body, to relax them to their normal waiting state. So just simply relax. Relax.
You might also notice that I get a little trippy myself. I look like I'm hypnotized, and indeed I am.
Relax. Again, your unconscious scanning those tight muscles, and when it finds them, tighten them up. just for a couple of seconds, and then slowly relax them completely. After which, your unconscious can direct and allow your body now to go into perfect alignment and balance, just as soon as it's safe and possible to do so. And when you have removed every last bit of old pain, inflammation, and tension, your unconscious will automatically open your eyes and you'll come back into the room. So just take as long as you need to complete that. And once that light makes contact, it begins to surround you and envelop you.
And now what I'm doing is a kind of visualization, like Dr. Tim and I talked about, using visualization of light,
Notice that
healing.
that healing light also has the capacity to move into you, so that you're surrounded by light and the light is surrounded by you. And at that point, when it has done its work, you'll once again open your eyes, automatically at the right time, with no forethought. How you feeling?
Good.
Yeah. Take a moment and envision the next time you have your chemo. Absolutely pain-free. There's no pain whatsoever. Imagine in your mind's eye that you experience something from the liver area, and that instantaneously your mind knows exactly what to do with it. And so somehow it becomes an effortless and easy process. How your body feels when you're feeling that happy, that confident, that free, that joyful. Tune in on that feeling while you roll that pill around in your fingers.
Now, this is an anchor.
Do you have any pain now?
Mm-mm.
Good. How do you feel right now?
Feel good.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. You did great. So what's going on with you right now, health-wise?
And
And
there we go.
October, I was diagnosed with throat cancer.
Oh, we got to turn that off for now.
Beat that in 2011. So that, that was squamous cell carcinoma.
There we go. And we're back. So,
Dr. Steve, that was fascinating. I've never been on this side of like almost like a one-on-one session like that. That was super cool. And I have like a billion questions that I don't think right now is the time for that. But what did come to mind is I know in an upcoming episode, I think you are suggesting that there's one class that you're going to do primarily on what people in pain at home can do themselves, right?
We'll actually do a class on hypnotizing yourself. How does self-hypnosis work, and how can you use some of these same principles? Because there were about 5 different principles at play, and I think we could actually tease them out right now in a few minutes, very quickly, to understand what happened there. So if I may, the first thing that happened obviously was gaining confidence and having me understand his needs and having him understand the mechanism of pain, because most people have no concept of the mechanism of pain. I was explaining that there are about 5 different ways in which our nervous system can create the experience of pain and can block the experience of pain. And the most important one that we were drawing on was the area of the pain cycle where the nervous system has sent a signal to the brain, and the brain has perceived the signal but has not yet interpreted the signal. So that what we do is we interrupt that place between the perception and the interpretation. And that's a big part of what I was doing with him. So then what we did was we used the ideomotor response to get his subconscious mind to do some internal rewiring, which is a remarkable experience. And he gets to see for himself that changes are taking place. Then we did a relaxation process to have him begin to relax each and every muscle of his body. And then we began to do something that allowed his subconscious mind to help dissipate inflammation. We went all the way through that process. And then we had him visualize a ball of light, healing him. And that had a very powerful impact. And that's not different from what you would do at home. It's just that it happens to be done under a hypnotic state, which means he's more receptive, more open to the experience. And then we did something called an anchor. And I had him rolling an artificial pill around. And if we had seen the whole thing, you would have seen him then pop this artificial pill into his mouth, because again, we're operating based on the concept that the placebo effect is that if your mind thinks that you're being treated, in essence, it is being treated. And so we did all of that in this process, and we did a couple of other anchors. And lo and behold, at the end of this process, he was pain-free. And I've spoken with him since. I was hoping he'd be joining us today. I don't see any indication of that, but he's been pain-free. And now the bulk of his pain usually happens after the actual treatment. So we're going to be watching to see how this plays out when the rubber really hits the road. But he's certainly doing better. He had a great doctor's visit recently, and I have high hopes for him. So this is just what we can really do with the mind is outstanding, really remarkable.
Can't wait to hear more about this and share these. And we're going to have to take those 5 things that I know you briefly went over.
Yeah.
We're going to have to go back to those and really get those down the road, because I want to learn that stuff. That's unbelievable. So cool. Just to really quickly, how long would you expect him to feel better from that session? Do you know, will it gradually dissipate or will it be, an up and down thing? What's usually the experience? I mean, he had serious pain, cancer pain. That's
right. That's right. Many of the people I've worked with have had permanent results. So it can be very powerful and very long lasting. And for others, it's kind of, you get that occasional booster shot. And sometimes you only get partial results up front. It's like sometimes it takes more than one bucket of water to put out a fire. You got to work it a little further. And then ultimately, we want to simultaneously do the work that you and I do, which is to introduce lifestyle choices and things that people can do ongoingly. So that they're not likely to reproduce the problem that caused the pain in the first place.
And it's no good if you get out of pain, but you're in such bad physical and mental condition that you die of some other disease right away. So we're into longevity and true health. We're into the whole picture, not just getting out of pain.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So for today, in terms of giving everyone one big tip for today, we're going to be going much more deeply into some of these sort of guided imagery hypnosis experiences. But right now, I want you to just take one concept, which is the concept of breathing things in. When you go out in nature and you take a walk, you breathe in the beauty. You literally create that experience, that vision of just breathing in the beauty. And then what you want to do is you want to start learning if you can possibly breathe in even some of the stuff we don't usually consider positive, like breathing in the pain, just embracing it. When you get in the cold water, breathing in the cold, starting to develop this concept that you could always breathe in and experience. And then your conscious mind and subconscious mind can work together to metabolize the experience. But it starts with this inviting the experience to happen. So today and this week and for the next, until you stop doing it or forget to do it, start breathing in your experience as best you can and see what that does to help you with your pain.
That's super. And I know I just want to introduce Monday's topic. Where it's going to be your 3 biggest pain hacks. That's Monday's show.
That's right. That's right. You guys have a lot of power. We're going to give you some more tools and tips to help you very quickly shift pain, even when it happens in the field, so to speak.
Absolutely. If you have any questions, just write them right in there. We'll get to them. And if you meditate on it over the weekend and get to us on Monday, that's awesome. But I just want to say to you, Dr. Steve, train your brain.
Lose your pain. Thanks, guys. Take good care. Bye-bye.